Yes, and Priyanka, you can.
Yes. Thank you for everyone joining today. The lecture is going to be about the citizenship by the Priyanka Das, Ms. Priyanka Das. So it's my privilege to introduce her as a moderator to have a great section today as a public lecture. And thank you, Priyanka. When I requested, immediately you are given for having this. So I hope today we working about the citizenship. So before going, is it okay? Something that on my side.
Your voice is breaking at times, but I think it's
No,
fine.
there is internet issue. I'm not wrong. Is it now fine? Now is fine.
Yes, it's. Yes, you
Yes,
may
it's
proceed. Thank you,
yes, you may
Tirupati.
proceed. Thank you, Nirupa. Yeah, thank you. So thank you, Priyanka, thus accepting the invitation, which is created by me when I requested you accepted. Thank you for this. And also, I hope this today lecture will be the provoking on the current contemporary scenario. Also, is about the citizenship, the question of India. So with that, I just want to give a small, short introduction of our speaker today, and I welcome all the audience for this today lecture. So with this, I just want to read it out a short bio of the Ms. Priyanka Das is a political science graduate with a master degree from Xavier College of Autonomous in Calcutta. She is also the writer of the book, is the Frontier Relatives and the Deep Dive into the Northeast India's ethnicity, geopolitics, and security. Sorry. Published in 2025, the recent book it's published, and she also is currently serving as a member of CPSRC, as well as she is the editor for the ADVA scientific blog at IAPSS. Also, she is a professional experience in the sponsors political research and a policy analyst. She has contributed as a research assistant at the Australian Catholic University, Australia in 2024. She also served as a junior researcher and analyst with the Indian Political Action Committee, IPAC, in Kolkata. Also, she is the editor. Also, she is earlier as a research analyst at the Tilcoma Foundation, worked with delegates from the Middle East and Middle Asia. Also, she is also gained corporate experiences in the great graduate training research associate with the High Tech Lab Innovations Technology India Group, Calcutta. She also published reputed journals, including Routledge and Scopus and Indexed publications, and contributed to the opened articles, and also presented her research at multiple national and international conferences. Her research focuses on Northeast Indian studies, with particularly emphasizing on the regionalism, insecurity, insecurity and the security dynamic, as well as the interplay of national relations between the Northeast India and the Southeast Asia. So, with this short introduction of our today's speaker, so I welcome you all for the topic of today: Who belongs citizenship lesson from the Assam to Bengal. So, with this title, today lecture we are going to begin now. So, I warm welcome our speaker Priyanka Das, the active member of the CPSRC as well. So, thank you so much for accepting. Please, the floor is yours. You can carry on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tirupati, and also Alicia for arranging this wonderful lecture. So before starting the screen share, like I want to share my PPT. I want to mention that this topic is very much sensitive, and I don't want to really hurt anyone's sentiment or feelings, because this is something which is related to the politics and the very politics of Indian origin and out those who are also not from India as well. So I want to share my screen. Can you please, if someone let me know that if it's visible
Yes,
Yes,
it's
it's
properly.
visible.
visible.
You
Okay.
can go ahead.
So I want to start. I want to start this topic. Just a minute. Yeah. So you can see that my screen is showing the map of Assam, West Bengal, and the Indian Constitution and the preamble of the Indian Constitution. So my focus is on the citizenship rights and the current CAA and NRC issues that mostly Assam and West Bengal is facing. Though it's been like implemented the whole part of India, but mostly it's been it's a voluntarily very much vulnerable place. Is Assam and then West Bengal. So the question of citizenship in India is not merely legal. We know it's deeply political and also emotional. The images remind us. These images also remind us how debates around the CA and the NRC have reshaped our understanding of belonging. So Assam, with its history of NRC, which is National Residential Citizenship Act, and and Bengal with its shared borders and migration flows. So it reveals how citizenship often becomes a test for identity, also based on religion and its region. So yet, when we turn to the preamble of our constitution, we are reminded of India's true promise, that is justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity for all. The real challenge before us is that can we upload these ideals while definitely who belongs to our nation? Because it has been written in the constitution, but when it's the time to implement it in the ground, it feels little shabby, and it feels little alienated to some part of the citizens or some part of the people. Not, I will not call them totally citizen, because there's like India always faced the migration issues, and it's been started from 1947. So that's what I wanted to focus on the history, because it would be easier to understand if we look at firstly the history and how the citizenship issues has been built up in India. So if you look at this slide, I have mentioned about the partition of 1947 and 1971 mostly rigorously, because after the partition of India in 1947 and the Bangladesh Liberation War in 1971, millions of people moved across borders. These were two big turning points that changed the population and identity of both Assam and West Bengal. So we also know about the Assam Accord and how Assam ASU, the All Assam Students Union, has fought for their migration strategy, and in opposition to the union government and so on. Over the time, the states, Assam and West Bengal, as I'm focusing on, these two states developed strong feelings about who is an insider and also who is an outsider. So in Assam, the idea of protecting local identity became very strong. As I mentioned that Assam Accord has been signed in 1985. It was related to the citizenship right and the farmer migration that was happening in Assam. In Bengal, migration was often linked with the memories and displacement and survival. Now this created a constant tensions and between including people as citizens and excluding them as also outsider. So the politics of belonging, therefore, is not just about law. It's not just about constitutional, but it's about emotions, memory, and fear. It still shapes how people think about citizenship today, because after also we over the it's been more than 75 years of independence, still there's this CAA Act and NRC has been like issuing people in the frontier of India and the frontier borders of East and Northeast. It's actually impacting the life of those who are being there since or before the partition or the liberation war of 1971. So this is about the NRC in Assam. I'm just Yeah. If I ask you one question that have you ever lost an important document because it feels like a passport or certificate or something like that, a sudden panic we feel, the feeling of your identity is being unsettled. Now imagine that feeling, but magnified a million times over. Imagine an entire government telling you that your papers are not good enough and that you no longer belong in the only home you have been ever known. So this is the story of the National Register of Citizens (NRC) in Assam, and it's the story of 1.9 million of people, our fellow human beings, who were told they were no longer the citizens of Assam. 1.9 million lives plunked into a terrifying limbo, and they are not just statistical. They are mothers, like they're people who are someone's mother, someone's father, someone's children, and so on. Now, rendering stateless by a bureaucratic process, it has been happened in Assam in 2021. Like mostly, we have seen this violence in 2021. Although the CA Act has been came in 2019, and the NRC has been implemented by the government in 2010, before Modi government has came into power. So this system creates a doubtful voter, which is called as D-voter. Means you are in doubt that if you are a voter or a citizen of this particular country, a tag that can strip a person of their vote and their freedom, leading to detention camps. So Assam, they in that time there were like a detention camp has been built there, which was the world's largest detention hub. Like till that time. Now, though obviously Gaza has been came into that position, but during that time it was Assam. It's always leading to detention camps, and who is most vulnerable, this question was always being there. It is always the same, that the poor and the marginalized and those who lack the power or the resources to fight a complex legal battle. So when documentation is the key to existence and it is the most vulnerable among us, are left locked out. So this Assamese people, or we can say the people who migrated from different parts of world, like different parts of mostly Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh, and Myanmar was not part of it. So they have been called non-citizen there. And then came the Citizenship Amendment Act, and as I mentioned, that Citizenship Amendment Act has been again amended in 2019. On its own, it might seem like a simple law, but when seen alongside the NRC, a frightening picture emerges. So there's a difference between NRC and CAA. CAA was implemented in whole parts of India, but NRC was implemented only in Assam. So it creates a two-tier systems where the right of belong is no longer a universal human right, but a privilege that can granted or denied based on the specific set of criteria. So this is not about one community. This was not about a community. This was about very idea of India. It was about the fear that any one of us, given the wrong circumstances, could be the one deemed doubtful. It was about the anxiety that our own belonging could become conditional. We were watching an architecture of exclusion being built, brick by the bureaucratic brick. If I call it a bureaucratic brick, means has been developed by the bureaucracy itself. It is an architecture that breeds fear, that breeds separate families, and that creates a shadow class of people without rights, without a home, and without any no future. So this was about the NRC in Assam and how it has been implemented and causes several dynamics in the politics and the life of people there. The CAA, citizenship in Bengal. I want to focus on right now Bengal. Let's focus on what is NRC and CAA first, and then we'll look more divertly into the topic. The citizenship in Bengal today is not merely a legal matter, it's the heartbeat of our political identity. So it's deeply entangled with the fear and hope, and the Bharatiya Janata Party, the BJP strategy mirrors the lesson of Assam, where citizen became a weapon and a wound. So when BJP invokes citizenship, and it's not just paperwork, it's about belonging, about who gets the call Bengal home and who remains forever as an outsider. So we focus on Malda district. We will be focusing on the Murshidabad districts and North Chobis Pargana. So these were the district. Yeah, so this map you can see, I have been circled the areas, and here it's Bangladesh in the near part of these districts of West Bengal. They were more than districts, they are crossroads of migration, faith and fractured memories that we have linked with our West Bengal history. Sure, the boundaries of identity is blurred. Decades of migration has been happening and creating new communities, each carrying stories and displacement and survival story and history. Citizenship narratives in these regions do not operate in isolation. They echo the anxieties of demographic change that has been happening in West Bengal and arithmetic of the votes. Religion shapes this fear as well, because CA was something which was based on the religion, and CA was it was a law, or is a law, where non-Muslims are invoked, but the Muslim part is not invoked, as mentioned by the government, that non-Muslims will not be a part of India by the naturalization process, which, sorry, the Muslims will not be a part of India with the naturalization process, which non-Muslims can be. So this citizenship narratives in these regions do not just operate the isolation, and it also belongs to the anxieties and demographic changes. Religion shapes this fear, and as I mentioned in the points, that the idea that some are perpetual guest and the neighbor against neighbor, fear in this landscape becomes a popular and powerful. It's a powerful mobilizer. It unites, though through exclusion and so on. So fears here whispers that your rights are fragile, your future can be unwritten or rewritten. Political actors use census drives, promises of national register, and the language of infiltration to stoke uncertainty. We must ask, whose fear is it? Whose future does it protect? And what the lessons that from Assam warned us: when citizenship becomes a question of survival, democracy itself is threatened. Today in Bengal, the emotional agony of belonging, and exclusion of our political destiny, the narratives that we are just about being a voter, just about voting, and they are just about a deep desire to find a safety and certainty in the changing world. It's the only feeling, or that belonging or exclusion part of being in the political notion of West Bengal right now, that the voting and voting politics. In this slide, I tried to focus on the electoral implications. India's evolving, as I mentioned in the points, India's evolving citizenship is reshaping our democratic landscape, obviously, is in a profound manner. The BJP is framing recognizing the Hindu refugees from neighboring countries as deserving of protecting through the Citizenship Amendment Act. Now, Citizenship Amendment Act is protecting the people only from coming from the Assam, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, who came before the 26th May 1971. And this has been the BJP's framing during that time, when the 2019 CAA Amendment Act has been came in the parliament and has been signed by then President Ramnath Kovind. So this is it. And the BJP's framing of recognizing this Hindu refugees from neighboring countries as deserving of protect through the citizenship, because it has been mentioned that the Sikh Parsis, there were six religion, the Sikh Parsis, Christian, Buddhist, and more too, where only can get the citizenship by the naturalization process, but the Muslims will not be included in this part. So it was the fear that the Muslim community in India has been faced, and that was the main point of this violence and so on that has been started from 2020. And we have seen that how Jamia Millia University has been like protesting, like in the opposition of this particular act has been published by the government. So simultaneously, the focus removing the infiltrators is justified through concerns about the illegal migrations and national security and the integrity of our electoral rules and so on. So this approach, while controversial, has compelled voters and the political allies to rethink their priorities and alliances. The idea is not just about polarization and but an attempt also to provide clarity over who belongs and to offer reassurance for communities who felt historical marginalized. However, these citizenship debates are changing traditions of the vote bank. Now, new lines are being drawn that intersect the faith and region and language, so on. So currently in India stands as a crossroads with citizenship politics, redefining who are we and where our nation heads. This is more than polarization; it is a shift in how we imagine and protect our country's future. So obviously, if anything, that this is the detention center I was talking about in Assam. It was the biggest in the world since till that time. In Assam, many people are worried about right now. Also, they're worried about the future, and because of the citizens checks. If you just log in your YouTube and just write it down, Assam and its citizenship rights, you will see like millions of videos that has been made, and mostly in the recent years, even in 2025 itself. If someone's name is not in the National Register of Citizens list, they might be sent to the detention camp. It was mentioned in Assam. Now, the centers are places where people wait to find out if they can stay in India or not. Now, they have been they are not in their home, they are living in the detention camp, and they are still being projected by the bureaucracy that if you are not an Indian, you have to go back to from wherever you came. In Bengal, people are also scared that something similar may happen here as well, even though the rules are not used as much as in Bengal. Yet many families feel stressed because in fear just thinking about it. The hardest hit are women, obviously, women, children, and poor people. Many do not have their papers needed to prove their identity as an Indian because they never had birth certificates. Some of them do not even have land records, but they are living in our land itself. So they are worried that they could lose their homes, their own property, whatever they recently has, and only the place they have ever known. So this is not just about political issue, it's about real people and their lives, everyday lives. It makes life harder for those who are already struggling, and we need to remember that the fairness and the kindness are important as we make laws about citizenship. So the Constitution, Indian Constitution, through Article 5 to 11, we know that it talks about citizenship and its rights, lays out clear and inclusive provisions for citizenship, emphasizing the idea of unified and equal citizenship for all Indians. Article 14 and 21 further guarantees that every person equality before the law and the right to life and personal liberty, but still forming the foundational pillars of our constitutional democracy is being in in a position that is questionable. However, the implementation of the NRC and the CAA has brought forth like challenges to these constitutional values, and the CAA provides a fast-tracked path to citizenship for certain religious communities from neighboring countries, pointedly excluding Muslims that like I'm mentioning from the very beginning of the lecture. So this explicit religious classification strikes at the very heart of Article 14's promise of equality before law and undermine India's secular fabric. As it discriminates against people and based solely on the religion, which is clearly incompatible with the constitutional guarantee on non-discrimination and equal treatment at a side or from a certain point. When coupled with the nationwide NRC, that how NRC and CA challenging the Indian Constitution, and the role of judiciary that I want to mention right now. Now, when we couple with this nationwide NRC exercise, there are legitimate fears of exclusion, arbitrariness, and obviously even the risk of statelessness for vulnerable groups, including those long settled in India, placing their life and liberty at risk, contrary to the Article 21, which gives life and liberty to freedom, rights to life, and so on. The judiciary has become a crucial arena here, and for contesting these developments. So numerous petitions before the Supreme Court that has been challenged the CAA and NRC on grounds that they violate fundamental rights and the basic structure of the Constitution has been made by the people and the different NGOs and so on from the different parts of India and as well as from Assam. So while the court's final ruling are awaited, the debates and opposition by several state governments underscore how citizenship, once a settled issue, has become a contested terrain again after BJP government has came and did this amendment for CAA in 2019. It has been by the opposition parties who have been always focusing on this point and like tricking this thing again and again, or poking this thing again and again. So here it's about the resistance and the alternative narrative, who challenges the citizenship, and so on. So this is about the I want to put a point here. The Shaheen Bagh in Delhi. This was a place where the protest happened protests were arranged by the women peacefully and using non-violent resistance and art to demand justice and question discriminatory citizenship laws, and mostly they went from Northeast. And students' activism and dynamic civil society movements in Bengal and Assam show how youth voice are vital in defending constitutional values and pluralism. Now, across India, there are we are cultured with different culture, language, and creative expression have become powerful tools, but redefining what it means to belong or being, reminding us that true citizenship is rooted, it's not just about in the state document, but in the lived reality, dignity, and solidarity. So it's not all practical, but also theoretical, but also emotional, and so on. So this was it. This is about the road to Bengal. Now 2026 will see an election in Bengal, and the BJP obviously as an opposition is very much strong this time. The BJP has pushed for the nationwide rollout of the NRC and presenting it as a tool for national security and citizenship. Now, this is something Hindu Jodi Bhai Bhai Gashe Kano. Sarnai. This is written in Bengali. So it's like always this Hindutva politics we are seeing by the BJP government that has been implementing in Bengal, and it's been a little funny, but it's like if you look at from a very spontaneous perspective, it has a deep meaning, though it's funny. So the BJP is doing something great this time. So while this in contrast, the TMC has strongly positioned itself as a guardian of the minority rights and fiercely resisting the these efforts and warning against the narratives that create fear and marginalization of entire community by the BJPs and so on. So it's like West Bengal's politics is always funny, and our CM, the way she talks and so on, it looks funny, but it has a deep meaning. And if you understand politics, if you wants to know about politics, you will really feel, like will feel bad that West Bengal is being in this place, which was one of at a one during or before the independence, it was something. West Bengal was something, and West Bengal was a place, or Kolkata was a place of business, tycoon, and entrepreneurship during that time as well. So uh, this verification drives recording proof of ancestry of or documentation have often bred like anxiety to the people, especially among the poor and minorities, as I mentioned before, and have fueled political mobilization around identity rather than their shared citizenship. So the results of such policies can be deeply corrosive for India's democratic culture, as they risk making belonging contingent on paperwork and stoking the suspicion among the people and undermining the trust between rather than it's trust between the communities and the people living in West Bengal. So the electoral strategies that we use in a communal polarization and fear narratives endanger the ethos of pluralism and so on, which the nation was founded, making the preservation of the democratic values and social rights or social cohesion all the more urgent in this testing times. So this is about this vote is about the exam of us. And I want to finish my talk with this, uh, saying that who belongs, this question cuts to the heart of our collective conscience. True belonging must be go beyond mere paperwork or official status. It must be rooted in equality, dignity, and shared promises of rights for all. As citizens, scholars, and as a voter, each of us carries a responsibility to shape an India that does not exclude even marginalized, but embraces diversity and protect its vulnerability, because India is a multicultural and multilingual nation, as we always been read or we know or we feel as a citizen of this particular nation. So there are families who live in fear and uncertainty right now, as well as in Bengal, and whose sense of home is threatened by the demand for documents they may not possess. Let us remember their suffering and resolve to make our citizenship truly inclusive, a source of hope, justice, and solidarity. Today, we reflect on your role, and will you really build a bridge of understanding and kindness? So, India's future depends on our ability to see every person as worthy of belonging and every life as deserving dignity. I know that in the case of West Bengal, it's different, because in the politics play the major role in West Bengal if, when we talk about the citizenship. Because looking at the Muslim community, here is the percentage recently by the census report is nearly 40%. And then Matua community who are getting like it's a vote bank for TMC government here. The Matua community who are also comes under the CA, not NRC. So they are more than I think 17% as per the recent census. And the Rajvanshi community, those are living in the northern part of Bengal, is also nearly 18% or 17%. So if you sum all this percentage, and the whole vote is coming to TMC government. So looking forward, like as I also worked in a political consultancy, so looking forward, this remains main focus for BJP, how to make its own place in West Bengal, and how to dwell with the government's implications towards these communities and the community citizenship actions or politics that the current government is playing in West Bengal. And this is the lesson that we need to learn from Assam, that though Assam is under BJP, but Assam is a state which has been always vulnerable due to migration from Bangladesh, from Myanmar, from Southeast Asian countries, from even a certain portion of China itself, and Nepal, also Afghanistan, Pakistan. Sometimes, because there's like less bureaucracy or less, security to the people there. So this is a main sector, like I mean, one of the vulnerable state in Northeast, that is Assam. And I'm really grateful for to deliver this lecture. And as an academic, I believe that party politics is something which we should talk about. We should actually, as a youth of this country, we should focus on how can we build a future which will be like better for us and better for our next generation. So thank you everyone for listening, and I wanted to bring it short. I don't know how much I was able to. So thank you so much. Should I stop sharing, or should I keep it,
Please, you can.
Alicia? Okay, okay, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Thank you for lecture and short and thought provoking. Your lecture is started with the historical background and linked with the contemporary issues of CAA and NRC. So, what is the ground level of the citizens are thinking about, and how the national politics is taking even the promises which is given by the constitution, how it has become questionable to the citizens, and how what is the difference, how it can be understood from the regional politics to the national politics. When the national politics is emerging, it is a questioning or keeping as a rights as a political tool or a political communication tool. When it goes into regional parties, the regional party will have only the schemes as a political communication tool, they'll use it. So these all provoking senses are coming out from your lecture. Apart from this, so your questions also very very valid. What is the point of the, I mean, what happened to the promises of the Indian constitution, which is starting with the Indian constitution preamble, which is right, talking about the fraternity, equality, and justice for all the communities, including the political, economic, and so on, right? So these all making very fundamental questions when you're touching upon the citizenship in the particularly country called democratic country in India. Like India is not belonging to one either one zone or either one community or one religion or one person, right? So it is altogether, it is not actually even a country, right? We can say that it's a continent, right? India is like merged with many countries, isn't it? But still, we didn't merge with as a one agreement basis, but still we are bonded with the one national unity, right? The nationalhood unity. So I hope this citizenship or this kind of policies when the national government or the national parties bringing as a political discourses, it should not be create divisions among the citizens. So it's all provoking sense, and really I appreciate and thank you so much for this, the valid and the contemporary work of this citizenship, particularly on India, because India is one among the the largest democracy in the world. So it is questionable, and it is very significant way to look into to how the Indian government is looking their own citizens and what basis it is looking, irrespective of the religion, caste, gender, or so on, so on. Or it is looking with the caste, gender, so on. So it is a matter. It is about the citizenship when you are bringing CAA and NRI, NRC, sorry. So also, you just brought it very wide issues. Even while you presenting, I just got it one thing like certain particular religious citizens can get their citizenship back, but it is also restricted. The Sri Lankan Hindus or Sri Lankan people, those who are origin from Tamil, Indian origins, they cannot claim back their citizenship. Whatever the criteria is, Indian government fixed it. But in the case of Pakistan, in the case of the Bangladesh or Nepal or so on the countries, it is easy to claim it. Though I'm not saying it is easy, but still, whatever the criteria they fixed it, within that also some neighbor countries are left over. So I don't understand this kind of things are how this government is agreeing under the so-called democratic, the people government in India. So this is also questionable. And thank you so much. I welcome the comments, the questions, or observations from the audience. So please, you can unmute your mic, and you can ask question to directly to our speaker. In case if it's not possible by speaking, you can type it in the box.
So, good evening to one and all. I'm Lakshmindra Gogoi. So, as lecture has delivered on the citizenship issues, uh, particularly Bengal and Assam. So, the questions arises that when we talk about the citizenships, so it is almost talking about the legal status of a particular nations. So now, uh, you know, when it comes to the Assam, this citizenship issues are starting from the independence to the till date, and the whole entire politics are depend on the citizenship issues. Now, the my question is that how do you differentiate the citizenships and NRC issues in Bengal and Assam? Because Assam citizenship and this CAA issues and NRC issues is different also, and the Bengal citizenship CAA issues and the NRC issues also different. So how do you see that difference?
Okay, so that's what my research was, and I wanted to talk about in the presentation. So Bengal, first I want to start with Bengal, as I'm also from Bengal. So in Bengal, the problem is in citizenship, because Bengal, as I presented certain areas of Bengal like Malda, Murshidabad, and North Chabis Pargana, this district are very connected to the Bangladesh and very much the border centric districts, and not just the border centric districts in West Bengal. The main problem in citizenship is that like it's like the only Bangladeshi people are the migrants are coming from Bangladesh to the Bengal, and we have seen that like Bengal has a history of Congress, and after the 1971, the Congress plays an important role in this citizenship tribunal, if I say, because the Congress were very much intricate towards the Citizenship Act, and they were very much into this border and security. Bengal was very much securitized by the Congress government itself, and then it came with the our like left CPIM. CPIM was also very much intriguing towards the citizenship, and they were very much securitized this border and so on. But when it talks about the Mamata Banerjee government since 2011, because of the vote politics and the people, the Bengali Muslims or the Bihari Muslims that have been coming from Bangladesh to West Bengal, she wants them to stay in West Bengal just to get the votes, and she is providing certain, identity cards so that these people can vote for her. And this is about the very nominal politics of West Bengal. But if we look at Assam history is always about Northeast. Northeast is always vulnerable because India doesn't care mostly, I mean, much about Northeast. Maybe Modi government has done a lot of things, but for Northeast, before Modi government, starting from Jawaharlal Nehru, they doesn't much care about Northeast itself. So in Assam, this issue was built during 1971, 1947, and then CAA came in 1959, the first CAA. And this was the point when from like during 47, the East Pakistan and West Pakistan were marginalized, and the people from even Pakistan during that time, Pakistan was coming to Northeast and was resettling in Assam because it was easier for them during that time. Assam was not freedom. Assam was part of the NEFA, which is Northeastern Frontier Agency. So it was easier for them there to get their identity and living there in Assam and becoming a part of the Assam. So Assam, why Assam has a lot of Bengalis? Because from Bangladesh in 1971, a lot of migrations has happened, and those people are mostly Bangladeshi, but some of them are also Bangladeshi Muslims who has been came from the West Pakistan itself. So so Assam has always this problem of citizenship, and that is why all Assam students union, this particular group, first it was group, now it's a party, it has been formed. So that is why it was always in the vulnerable point, and there were a lot of insurgencies that has been happened opposing the government of India. And we have seen the Assam Accord so that these migration problems can be resolved, because Assam is a place where migration is happening, and if being a person of that particular area or particular state, you are not getting job, and some other people are coming from outside, and that person is eating your job. So this is the main point of Assam Union, ASU, Assam Students Union Party, and so on. So that is how Assam Accord signed, and the insurgency has been stopped there. And it was again in 2010 when the NRC came. NRC has given a earthquake, a mind earthquake to these people, because NRC is something which only happened in Assam, in whole part of India, excluding other places in India. What is NRC? Needs to be understand. NRC is something which says that if you are a citizen, if you are coming from Bangladesh or Pakistan before 24th May 1971, then you will be granted as a citizen of this particular country, being in Assam. But if you are coming out after then you will not be called as a particular, as a citizen of this particular country. So that was the problem in NRC. NRC is not communalized. NRC was not religion based. NRC was just, just excluding those people who are migrating from the different parts of like ours in a citizen, our areas, like our neighbor, and coming to Assam. So that was it. So from NRC, this has been started in 2010, and then in 2019, when Modi government did this CAA, it again, escalated. The issues escalated. So it's being always there. Assam has a history of like violence and insurgencies related to their rights, to their citizenship rights. And Assam is also had Bodo land. So Assam has, its internal politics is very different from other any state of India. If we also talk about the southern states of India itself. So I hope I am able to answer your question, Lakshmindra.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you
I
for
have
the
a
question.
question, Priyanka.
Who's that?
Hello,
Yes.
can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yes,
hear you.
Priyanka, please.
So, do you think this NRC and CA has resolved the problem? And what are the development you mentioned BJP government has done in Assam? And what is your point of view when these people, like whole country, was standing with these people, those who are protesting? What is your view on that? And do you think all these problems resolved through this NRC and CA? Thanks.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. NRC and CAA is not a NRC is the problem for Assam. It's not for the problem of India. I have mentioned earlier as well, because NRC is being only implemented in Assam, and Assam is being facing the issues related to NRC. Now, if we talk about CAA, obviously CAA is what is CAA? I want to mention it again. CAA is Citizenship Amendment Act, which has been implemented in 2019, and it has been done by the BJP government when it came to power. And after its 5 years of spending 5 years in India as a in the government sector. So as Modi government has came in India, that he thought ki CAA should come out, because as we all know that how Muslim communities are being, it's very like it's coming as a majoritarian part of India. So I think to exclude that part, and this question is really it's important to understand Indian politics as well, because CAA is something which was celebrated in some places like West, in some places of South, and in some places of North as well, because it gave the rights of to those people who are not non-Muslims. And in this non-Muslims, people from Parsi community, people from Bautia community, people from Jain, Sikh, Parsi, Christian. So these people come, and the CAA 2019 says that if you are you came to India before after 1940, before 1947, and there was a date something like that, like during the partition. So then you can become a part of Indian citizen by naturalization process. Now, naturalization process is mentioned in our Article 9, which provides that you have to do certain official data and certain forms you have to fill up, and you have to submit it to the government, and based on the government verification, if you were qualified for that particular things, so you can become a citizen. So this was given to non-Muslims only, because BJP government's thought was that non-Muslims in Pakistan and Afghanistan is facing issues, but Muslims in India is not facing issues that much comparing it. So it was they wanted to exclude
So
Muslim from that zone.
So don't you think this is the agenda of BJP government to make as a Hindu Rashtra and troubling the
Yeah,
Islam
obviously,
people?
because BJP always, we know that BJP always plays Hindutva politics, and they are not really too literal towards the multiculturalism and so on. So yeah, they wanted to exclude the Muslim community. I should not mention this statement because I'm too young to mention this statement, because it's been a debate in Indian politics itself. But as per my understanding, I think so.
So
And
is
BJP,
it over?
yeah, she also asked another question related to the BJP government's development that has been made in Northeast India. Yeah, BJP government came in 2015. If you look at Act East policy, Act East policy actually opened the door of Northeast India towards the world of East Asia and Southeast Asia. So when your door is open, you will do business, you will do trade, uh, you will do certain, certain activity which is non-legal as well, illegal activities as well. So it's all mixture that BJP did in Northeast India. So yeah.
Act East policy, if you take, it's like what are the practical things already happened? Can you give such like some example, few examples for that? Like how it helped the Northeast state?
Okay, so actist policy, mostly I would like to mention, so the government, how its entrepreneurship programs, and that has been established in Assam and certain parts of Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, and other parts of Northeast India, Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh. So from that zone, it has been, like in entrepreneurship, in women entrepreneurship, in participating, like students, those who are participating in different programs in out of India itself. So these are also, there were like a lot of dam and so on. This has been made the roadways. If we look at mostly like build by the BJP government itself. So we see that the Lok Sabha seats of from Northeast has been also increased after BJP government has came in power. I am not saying that BJP did a lot of things, but BJP did at least. I think it should be widened, but BJP government at least did something for Northeast India.
Okay, thank you. Nice. The discussion is going on, but I do have some question to you. So in this, just I want to grab your view on it, how it's going to be that. So this is a situation when the situation comes on the citizenship, it is a fundamental or the basic of the democracy, right? So how this India or Indian citizens going to be part of the India and Indian government to be going to be part of Indian citizens are supporting each other. So in this way, if the Indian citizens are not liked to implement such a kind of the policies, so if the people are doing protests, starting from the students and women and the communities and religions and all the parts of the Indian states, right? So how you look at it in the regional perspective and the international forum perspective. So could you just throw some your ideas how the world will look at India? Just a hypothetical question, and how do it is looked by Indian regional itself? Like apart from the party, apart from the political pressures, apart from the political tool, as a citizen of India, so what is your view on it? How you see this? I hope my question is clear, isn't it?
Yeah, it's clear. As I already mentioned that CA is something which is for not for the Muslims community and for the non-Muslims community. So if we look at Indian citizens population, obviously Muslims are lesser than non-Muslims, but they are trying, like they are growing and they are trying to be a majoritarian. Looking at West Bengal, as I mentioned, that the recent census says that it's nearly 40% people who are Muslims here in West Bengal, and certain parts of Kolkata are very much dominated. Certain parts of North Dinajpur, South Dinajpur, Murshidabad itself is a very big example of and case study of Muslim area. And in a certain portion of Malda district, in Bankura district, and so on. So from that point of view, some people will obviously disagree, some people will agree. Now the agree portion is more, the agree people who are agreeing it, and that percentage is more than who are disagreeing it. And who are disagreeing it are Muslim, and who are agreeing it are non-Muslims or Hindu. So in that case, the religion based problem can be started. If the Muslims wants to fight or do this protest and so on, that has we have seen in Jamia Millia. If you search in internet, it's very much feasible and visible that how Jamia Millia protested for CAA, and how haunted it was when I read certain research paper today itself. So this number is lesser, the protesting number is lesser if you look at the non-Muslims and Muslims. So if Muslims start protesting, obviously non-Muslims will defend it, will defend the government itself, because BJP government has been mentioned that we will give the citizenship right to the Hindu, and this in this Hindu also Christian comes, also Buddha comes, also Jain comes, also Parsis comes. So in this,
How?
like they says in Hindu, like it's Hindutva politics, right? So in CAA, they have been mentioned the non-Muslims, in non-Muslim, 6 communities will be there, 6 religion will be there who will get the citizenship rights. Based on that, when India get independence, certain people who have came from West Pakistan itself and Afghanistan itself, so they who are non-Muslim, but the people, they are living in Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. So these people are not getting their proper rights in these like Muslim countries or Muslim dominated countries. So if they are coming to India, India will give them a place to settle down here and will give them citizenship rights by naturalization process that has been mentioned by the CAA 2019, and not to the Muslims, that will come and get the citizenship. It was not mentioned in the CAA. So if the balance begin, it will be it will be versus Muslim and non-Muslim. So in that fraction, obviously, it will be based on a religion-based violence and protest. And I think that would not possible in India because Muslims also knows that we are not in the majority as well as right now. So
So your meaning is that, can I just take it in this way? So this act or this policy which is taken by the government of India, which is against the constitution, which is the preamble said to has the equal rights to all the citizens of India, and treatment should be the equal manner irrespective of the religion, caste, and gender, so on the birthplaces, isn't it?
yeah, obviously, as I also mentioned in my paper, that it is not constitutional, but sometimes to play politics or to play or to settle down with the notion we have to take certain decisions. And what I have a question: what actually happens in India which is constitutional, right? There's a lot of rape is happening. Is it the constitution say that you have to give certain like if the victim is played has like a real role, you have to do a judicial executing to that particular person, but that has happened. So what is constitutional in India right now? So that is a
See,
big question as an Indian. Yeah.
as a scholar, I can just tell you one thing that we cannot compare the rape issue, the social harming issue, compare with the government doing issues. See, the government what doing it is bigger than the what state the civilians does. Okay, so because the civilians has a less hand power rather than compared with the government. Government has a huge power because we all given to the supreme authority to the government of India, right, through the democratic system called constitution, right? So in that way, they have more power than that. So we cannot compare this small. I'm not circulating it as a small issue. Don't mistake me that. It is not acceptable. And agree that one. But still, we cannot compare this on that because that is actually fundamental things of the citizenship. If somebody has some VO coming and telling to me, you're not going to be a citizen of this village or you're not going to be a citizen of this state, you're not going to be a citizen of this country, where I'll go? How this world, other country will recognize me, who I am? Will they agree me as a human? Not at all possible, isn't it? So that we cannot compare
Yeah.
this big issue with the civilians things. Okay, anyway, fine. So I think Alicia has some question, isn't it?
Yes, yes, I have a couple questions and also comment to make. I think
Please.
to play the devil's advocate here, I think the Indian Home Ministry has clarified that the CAA does not nullify the existing naturalization laws that are, conferred on, let's say, the Muslim immigrants or Muslim migrants from India's neighboring countries or other countries. So they can always apply for Indian citizenship through naturalization, and people from any country can apply for Indian citizenship as a matter of fact. It's just that CAA is for especially for those who are the persecuted minorities in India's neighborhood. So this is just me putting a counter to what was discussed here. Of course, NRC and CAA are often associated with disenfranchisement in India itself. For example, the chief minister of West Bengal says that the special intensive revision of electoral rolls (SIR) is also, let's say, a guise to implement the NRC in West Bengal in India. The Congress has also, the opposition has also, put forward similar sentiments that the SIR, that took place in Bihar recently, that leads to a lot of disenfranchisement and is related to the NRC as well. So what are your views on that? Again, I also believe, when we speak about illegal immigrants and illegal immigrants from Bengal, I think that is a narrative that has been forwarded all throughout our country today, sadly, that and because of this and because of the entire debate around NRC and how this entire issue of Bangladeshi immigrants, illegal immigrants coming from Bangladesh. This has been securitized in today's politics, and because of this securitization, unfortunately, Bengalis today, in different parts of India, who work in different parts of India, who live in different parts of India, they are being called illegal immigrants. We are discriminated against. Unfortunately, we're not allowed to speak our own language. When we speak our own language, we are discriminated against. We are called Bangladeshis. So uh, our own citizenship is also delegitimized given the narrative that has been put forward when we talk about NRC and CA. So what are your views on that?
One thing before that, Alicia, did you mention any country citizen who are migrated, they can get citizenship back? Is that you mentioned?
No, I mean, this was just, I think, what I was saying was that I think the Home Ministry has, over and over again, said when they were asked whether, they are being discriminatory against, people coming from other countries and applying for citizenship, they had mentioned that any, Muslim migrant from any country can apply for Indian citizenship through naturalization. So they can live in India for a few years and they can apply for citizenship. So this was
If I'm
their
not,
point. This was their defense. So I'm just putting
I
this forward,
understand.
and I just wanted to ask a question that how does she give a counter to the defense that was given by the Home Ministry?
Yeah, if I'm not wrong, it's not for every nation and all the nations who have come from, but I think in that the Sri Lanka was not mentioned, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So that is also question that one. And also, and second thing is just want to make one commentary here that since the citizenship subject it falls under the union list, the state cannot even do anything on that because it is a issue of the security and the citizenship, right? So in this way, uh, just comment this one, want to make it this one. So in this way, how we can go and see that the issues we can fight for this, I fight against for this. That's also question there. Yeah, Priyanka, you can just go.
Just a minute.
Yes, Priyanka, you can give.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, actually, regarding Bihar's SIR, it's like obviously Bihar's community is something different, Lisha, and if we we cannot compare CAA in every states and their propoundation and their vigility in every states is very different. In West Bengal is very different. In Assam it's very different. And yes, you have mentioned right that you can apply for the naturalization process, but those who have came before 2014, before 2014 means when the Modi government has came in power, but not after no 2014. Those Muslims who have came after 2014 cannot apply for naturalization process. And there comes NPR, which I was researching on NRC and in CAA. NPR is something which is National Population Register. So national population register, those the minorities will come in there, and the whole citizen, whole population of India comes under NPR. So you can first apply for NPR. If you are able to qualify NPR, then you can proceed with naturalization process. And this is what that has been mentioned by the CAA 2019. And yes, in different debates, in if you look at the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha debate, Amit Shah has been told a lot of time that you are not noticing that non-Muslims, six non-Muslims has been cooperated in one sector, and we are putting we are giving them that opportunity to become Indian. Those people who are marginalized in these parts of countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. But Muslims who are living in India are not being that much marginalized if we compare it with these non-Muslims in certain parts of these countries I have been mentioned. So this has been mentioned by Amit Shah itself in several debates, even before the COVID itself in 2020 itself. So yeah, so it's the process that the Muslim community should follow as per the CAA Act. And another question was like Bengalis today. what was your question, like discriminating the Bengali language? Yeah, it's all in news that how if you talk in Bengali, you are not accepted that much in certain other parts of India itself, but and mostly in South discriminate it. Even South people mostly discriminate if you are talking it Hindi. They prefer English. I think, I'm sorry, Tirupati, but they prefer English. So this is something which is the which is ideology. I cannot
It
say a
is
word on it. It's people's
it,
mind. Like, I don't know how to answer this question. I think
it
Tirupati
is not
can better answer
discrimination.
it.
It is not a discrimination. It is actually imposition with the extreme power. So I don't know how we can call it a discrimination, but we can call it as an imposition. So through the institution's power, imposing on other communities or other language speakers. Yeah. Even it is reflecting while the speaker speaks, right? When our leader speaks, I could not even I interest to watch the assemblies debates, but when I just turn it on, it's become Hindi. Then I can't even understand even single word. But we can do that. That's okay. That's kind of imposition. Yeah, carry on, please.
Yeah, so I really don't have any answer on this because I don't think so. It would be better, like it would look good to answer me this question. It will be. I don't want to answer this question by Bengali languages
uh,
is like
no I
discriminated in certain portions in India.
No, actually, that was not my question. My question was that given that the entire debate about NRC has come forward, and given the background of NRC and how the entire aspect of how Bengalis today are being deemed as Bangladeshi illegal immigrants, the fact that the entire securitization of the illegal immigrants, goods bhetiyas in India. Coming from Bangladesh, given this kind of securitized narrative, today we Bengalis are, facing the adverse implications of such a narrative, such a securitized narrative, a securitized notion of Bangladeshi immigrants coming from a different country and settling in West Bengal. So the fact that we are being discriminated against them, this was just a comment that I was making, that you know uh,
Yeah,
NRC as a background has led to a kind of narrative where our citizenship is also being called into question. Our citizenship is also being
yes.
delegitimized because unfortunately a lot of people cannot understand the difference between ethnicity and nationality. So we share common ethnic ties with Bangladeshis, but we are Bengalis, we are Indians, right? So that was a comment that I was making, that the fact that Bengali people do not recognize Bengali as an Indian language, they are recognizing Bengali as a Bangladeshi language.
Bangladeshi
So that
language, right?
yes, and this
Yeah,
has come about because of that entire debate around NRC, that Bengal has an influx of illegal Bangladeshi immigrants, that Bengal today has a particular number of there has been a demographic change in Bengal, and that we have more Bangladeshis than Bengalis in West Bengal.
mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's something, which is like, I would say our chief minister is also responsible for, because people are not fool. They read newspaper, they read articles, they know about the politics. Like, being an West Bengalian, I know certain politics about New Delhi. I know certain politics about, obviously Northeast, as I research on. I know certain politics about South India as well. So people are not fool. So this is somehow this is responsibility. It's like the CM is also responsible for it, because people feel that whatever happened in Durga Puja, you have seen in YouTube, or in it's one in social media. So in every step, we try to understand ki if her politics is very communal, or is it's very equalization, or it's very equity based. I am myself questionable to the politics of West Bengal itself. So yeah, from that portion, your comment is right.
Anyway, thank you so much for this wonderful thing. Discussions on the citizenship. Really, it's interesting and it's keep on going on subject. It is not a endable subject actually. So because it is linking with soul of the democracy and soul of the Indian governance system. So it is not possible to end soon. Anyway, thank you so much for this wonderful discussions and lecture which is given by Priyanka Das. And I thank Alicia Khan to given permission to conduct this moderator as a moderator. Thank you so much. So we came to the end. Yeah. So I thank IAPSS and I thank academic department for agreeing this opportunity. I mean, agreeing this lecture and given opportunity for us to be making discussion on such a kind of scholarly work and going with a very interesting discussions on this. So with this notes, we would like to end this today's sessions. Thank you so much. I'll just stop the recording now.